All right, hello, internet, online community. Welcome to episode 3 of Counterculture. Today, I am joined by one of my good friends here in Seattle. Like I had mentioned on the earlier episode, he plays for the Kraken, the SEAHAWKS. You might have worked with him if you're a local artist as well. He owns a studio, Mob Studios in Soto. His name is Zech Vallete. Yeah,
Hello.
welcome to the show, dude. What's going on?
Thanks. This is sick, dude. I'm glad you're doing this.
Counterculture. We're talking counterculture. Counterculture. From my kitchen counter. Counterculture. Speaking culture. Counterculture. From the counter. That was kind of like an official intro.
Keys on Main too, I should say. Keys on Main is my main.
Yeah, you might have seen him there.
Yeah,
if you're a
Keys on
tourist
Main
as well.
is definitely my main piano show gig,
Yeah. No, that's, people seen you.
I only do
all
the
over.
other gigs because I started that gig. So it's like, I got to give them the love,
And if you're, tuning in, we are both local artists who play piano. I played at a piano bar in Nashville called the Big Bang.
That's right.
Yeah. Shout out to Justin
that.
Nault who let me get up there. But yeah, the
I forgot.
dueling piano bar here is called Keys on Main.
Keys on Main,
Yeah.
yep. Every weekend, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every week. Seattle, Tacoma. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. You travel. You're traveling tonight, right?
Tacoma, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Tacoma.
Yeah, you got any upcoming shows you want to?
The piano bar pretty much every week. So yeah,
Sick.
I mean Thursday, Friday, Saturday I'm there. I think the Kraken is April 11th, maybe.
All right.
I'd have to look. This is the last regular season, the last regular season game this season. We're playing.
Right.
But
it's
I
coming
always
to an
tell,
end.
I always tell people though, it's like I get like nobody's going to a sports. Like we do these sports gigs. But nobody's going to a sports gig to like see a musician,
Right.
but like they're not going there to see me. So I'm always,
No, but I see you on your Instagram stories. Like,
Yeah.
man, you're just like giving the energy.
We're crushing.
And that's what they are.
Yeah,
there
we're
for. They're
playing
there for the
T-Pain.
energy.
Yeah.
Right.
We're playing
But
T-Pain.
No, you're just like
a little-
in the
yeah.
arms of
No,
the air.
we did this one. Segment. We called it Bowie Got Back, which is the mascot. Like
Okay.
Bowie's like the mascot, and we're like, we're gonna do this bit. Bowie comes out, and we're just like, oh my God, Jevin, look at the size of that Bowie. It's just, it's just out there, and they love that. Like the production team was like, oh, that's funny. Like,
Have you tried doing a buoy, 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 buoy everywhere?
ooh,
Buoy, 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 buoy everywhere.
and yeah, it might have been a little too PG-13, but
Nah, man, dude, it's hockey.
it's hockey.
They let people fight on the. I mean, come on. If you're gonna let
Yeah.
your kids watch just two grown men throw
Did you
haymakers, they can get a buoy joke.
Did you see that thing about how they're thinking about letting baseball players fight?
No way. Oh, like when they charge the mound.
Like if they
let 'em
charge the
go.
mound, like if you get hit, you have 10 seconds. You can charge the mound, and then a siren goes off, and then the teams are allowed to come in and break it up.
In theory, I love it. Ain't no way. They spend
It's not happening.
way
It's
too
not
much
happening.
money for someone to get injured. They're in the multi-million.
It's not-
Hockey
it's-
players
it's
still
not
making
happening.
that. What baseball players were making in the '60s money.
It's not happening. No, it's not going to happen. The Seahawks do this thing. They have this big cannon. It's like it shoots. It's called the brat cannon or the meat cannon. I don't know what it is.
It's a cannon.
And it shoots it out, and we've thought it'd be funny to make a song too. There's like brats, jalapeno, smoky barbecue. Like
See, y'all already know if you've been to a Seahawks game or a Kraken game, that energy.
it's the goofball shit. It's
No, that's what makes community great, though.
and
for
that's
real.
piano bar, right? That's piano bar.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's funny entertainment.
So let's go over maybe like not top 10. We'll go like top 3. What do you think? Like as far as like most requested song, or just which ones are like the best tip song in the South? It was because we had a lot of SEC teams. We used to do like this thing where it was like we'll play your
the fight songs,
fight songs or whatever.
And I was gonna say that's probably some of the most money because you have one person pay, then the other person shuts it down with more money, and then it goes back and forth. And yeah, you just you talk shit about the other. Oh well, obviously they don't have enough money because they went to the University of Washington. You know what I mean? It's like then you're playing the Cougar song, then you're playing the Husky song. Yeah, those that's probably definitely one of the highest dollar ones. Yeah, or the most money ones are like crappy songs that someone pays a lot of money for.
Oh right.
Because then the whole crowd wants to shut it down.
What's that song?
But if you could, it used to be Creed, but Creed's hot right now, dude.
It's back in.
It's
90s
hot,
are back
dude.
in, bro.
Creed is hot right now.
Yeah.
We used to be
Little
like,
Scott
if I run out of songs, I'm playing Creed. Now it's like R. Kelly. It's like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, shut down immediately.
Yeah,
Incredible
Freebird
how
doesn't get requested as much as you would think it would.
it used to.
Yeah,
yeah, you know what
yeah.
I mean. I don't know if that's still like I haven't done the piano bar thing in a minute, so.
Free. I mean, it's Don't
and
Stop
Wagon Wheel.
Believing.
Wagon
Wagon Wheel
Wheel
for
was
sure. No, Wagon Wheel's every night for sure. Sometimes, yeah, and that's a song that could come up 3 times.
And I'll play it as long as you don't say "By Hootie." If you say "By Hootie" in the below, we ain't doing it. You gotta say Bob Dylan, and then I'll give a shout out to the people who know.
The Old Medicine. Yeah.
Yeah. Old Medicine. What is it?
Yeah.
The Crow.
Yeah. Old Medicine Crow. Yeah. I like. Don't Stop Believing. Sweet Caroline. And what he is surprisingly still very popular.
Oh yeah, the
WAP. And maybe it's just the piano bar. I would hope. I don't know why it's still around. Every weekend we're like, this song is still around.
And well, you don't know what pleases the crowd, but that is.
Yeah, they love it, dude.
Yeah, I've heard.
I think it's more of like a joke. Like they're like, let's make them do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not as much they want to hear it. They'd rather just make us do it. You know what I mean? And that's fine. It's piano prostitution. That's what
I did play a gig on for the boat log. What is that? Seafair.
Yeah.
Seafair. I played this year, and that was requested on the boat. And there are other boats with children. So
boats are
It's you got to play that family friendly type of.
To, yeah.
So I was trying to think on the fly, and there isn't really a way to do that song, but it's still highly requested and in rotation.
I like the sneak in. So the Seahawks games we've played a bunch of in game stuff and the Kraken games, and me and Jevin, my drummer, we always try to
shout out to Jevin.
Yeah, shout out to Jevin. And we try to sneak things in, and our big one that we try to sneak in is "If you hold the head steady, I'ma milk the cow," right? Which is the ludicrous lyric in the rap of "Yeah" by Usher, right? And it's one of those things
halftime show coming up
that
Usher,
we sneak in, and we're like, do you think they're gonna notice? Do you think that anybody's gonna say anything? And that's the one that we get by everything. Like we've played it in all the stadiums, and nobody ever says anything, and then we'll be like, dude. Like we got it in.
We got it in.
Nobody
fit it in.
And we'll censor like you censor like Mac, you're censoring songs all the time.
No, you.
But it's fun.
I came and saw you at a
some shit in.
Seahawks game earlier this year. That was my first Seahawks game ever, and I
Which
remember
which game was that?
Cardinals. I do remember. Yeah, see, I remember most of the first 3 quarters. But you did not. Yeah, we didn't eat as much as we should have, and as musicians,
that was that game.
This is the Bro, we get and we love it. You can offer us free drinks. We need to have a better idea on ourselves to know when our limit is. And I was just having such a good time.
Stadiums are crazy, dude. Like the vibe of just
it was
football
incredible.
in general. Like you couldn't have more home games because it's just like, dude, I'm sure there's people just like getting arrested and like it's just like crazy.
It is madness.
And even a lot of the bars like they close early because they're just like, we don't want to deal with football fans. You know what I mean? And it's like we don't want to deal with ourselves either. Like it's like.
But shout out to I can't remember who the DD was, but who gave me a ride home because I was definitely ready for.
That was Jevin too. Remember that was the day I lost my phone, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. That was the day you lost your phone. Anyway, we had a really good time.
It was sick,
yeah, but
dude.
thanks. Yeah,
Seahawks.
Okay, so you did. I think the outfield. I don't wanna lose your love, and that killed. That feels like so good.
I love that song. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here we'll kind of segue. We're still talking about music, but you own a studio as well in
Mob
Soto.
Studios. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't I'm just opening up. This is Sound Life Studios here, but let's kind of dive in what it's like owning or working out of a local studio.
Yeah. So, Mob Studios has been a ton of different things, too. So, I used to live there probably 12, 13 years ago, right?
Oh, dang.
And there was like 8 people living there. It was still a studio downstairs, but it was grimy. It was kind of like just this punk rock, scummy, cool space, whatever. I lived there for about 2 years, moved out. My buddy kept the lease, moved out. We reacquainted. And then me and my buddy Josh, shout out Menashe Jewelry, West Seattle.
All right.
We were talking about building like a musical fantasy factory, like you know what I mean, like in like a place that was just creative, inspiring, fun, multi-use, whatever. And Evan, our other partner, moved back in with me and said when we were looking, he's like, "Well, I still have the studio," and I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I still have the space. I held on to the lease." So we went and looked at the space. Long story short, took it back over, kicked out all the people that were living there, did a 2-year remodel, and just turned it into a real creative space. As far as the studio goes, we definitely had a lot more like, we found that letting people use the space for events and just larger production stuff is just kind of a better avenue.
Yeah.
More so than, and I love recording bands and recording people and stuff, but we take on a lot of like, we take on very little and specific like kind of recording projects.
Sure.
And then we do like a youth program, but we don't have like lots
Right.
of bands coming through and recording full albums and like.
Well, it's such a unique. It's a large space, but it has like all these different rooms. I've seen it as a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
I think when I first moved here, you were actually playing like a Halloween party there.
Yeah.
You were Iron Man. I don't know if
I
you remember
was,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
We had just met on Alki. You were living on that house, and we'll get to some stories about Alki in a bit. But yeah, that was like it was a Halloween party. And you were playing with a band. I've seen it as you've like run it with. We were just showing the dab videos, but you had like
a lot of cannabis industry events. We did Leaf Magazine's podcast, the Leaf Life podcast there
Right.
for a long time. We did Hemp Fest there.
Right.
Yeah, the last Hemp Fest we did there.
I've seen
yeah,
it as
just
the
the-
youth program.
Yeah, the
I've
youth
come
program,
in there and I've
yeah,
seen you
shout out
working with
Progress
that. Yeah, what's that
Pushers.
called? Yeah.
Progress Pushers.
Plug
Yeah,
that
they're
real
from
quick.
they're from Kent. And yeah, they do great stuff. They've been around forever. It was these 3 guys that were incarcerated that developed this youth program when they were in prison. And now they just deal with at-risk youth kids and kids that, and a lot of these kids, it's crazy because a lot of these kids get arrested, go to jail, get shot, get killed. Like during these programs, like there's kids that have been like people will show up and be like, yeah, I got shot this week. And they're like, clearly had got shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was someone in a cast the week I came by. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because you've worked a couple of these for me too.
I did, yeah.
And these kids are awesome. You get to know them, and they would never be in this place or doing these things. And so it's really just to get them to see like, hey, this feels good doing this thing and being around this. Maybe I could just be around
Man,
this.
as
or do
teenagers,
this,
they got so much energy. You just like, hey, you want a direction, a meaningful direction for your energy, and man, they bring it. Yeah, it was really cool.
It's a really cool program. Yeah. Shout out Progress Pushers.
Yeah, that's dope.
Charles Howard. Yeah. All those guys.
So yeah, just a multifaceted studio that can be kind of it's an educational place. It's like a place where you record, but it's also for shows and
showcases,
hosting,
record releases, and we rent it out on Peer Space and stuff to like people. Like people rent it out for
I
parties.
was gonna say if someone wanted to, like, oh cool, let me look up
Peer
this
Space.
Mob Studios.
We're on Peer Space.
Cool.
That's the easiest way to book the studio. But yeah, I do walkthroughs with people and show them what we can do. It's real easy for people to just come in there, utilize the whole space, use the projectors, use the lights, use the sound system, all from their phone. So it's a really easy. It's like a venue Airbnb at that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, and it comes with all the like professional, and this is the high end equipment. Isn't just because you buy the most expensive guitar doesn't mean you're going to be a good guitar player. And I think that's what we are trying to establish maybe in this role as like local producers. And we have the stuff at the studio, but we also have some studio experience. We've worked with other people in the industry and kind of seen the apprenticeship roles. And I think knowing how to use all this equipment to get, like you said, like, no, we have exactly what you need to cater.
Yeah, well, you make it really simple for anybody to use it, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you know how to use your Spotify, you can like have it sound like a club in here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But that's because you have all the know-how on like where to set up everything.
Because it's all set up in there
with.
for you. Yeah, it's really easy. So yeah, the studio's great. It's been so much fun. Like tonight, I think they're having a watch party, and it's funny. It's the second watch party that they've had. And the first watch party, it's my buddy Josh. Shout out Menashe Jewelry one more time.
All right.
Yeah.
Josh getting a lot of love.
Josh. He hit me up last time. He's like, yeah, I'm having a watch party. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll help you set it up. I go down there and I'm like, well, what do you want me to put on? I thought it was a game or like a football game or a basketball. I'm like, what do you like?
Golden Bachelor.
Yeah. I'm like, what do you guys want? Yeah, it's like a bunch of dudes down there just like get the guys together. We're watching Golden Bachelor.
Hell yeah.
I go down there and he's like, no, it's a watch party. Like, and I go in there and there's like guys with like
watch.
It was a literal watch party.
Wow.
Yeah, I felt like an idiot. I like walked in and like, guys, what do you want me to put on the like? What are you watching?
Amazing. I love language so much.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. Because yeah. So today is the second one. So I was like, okay, it's a watch party.
All right, fair enough. So we got a watch party going on tonight at Mob.
Just gonna put Damian Lillard videos on.
We got that Dame time. Yeah, we got it.
Just put some Dame.
No, I've seen. So we also used to record down on. We're gonna segue. We used to record down on the beach because we both had like a home studio set up when we were down there.
Yeah.
I lived off of. can't remember Stevens, you know, and just a
around
couple
the
blocks
corner.
back. But you were actually like on, was it Alki Boulevard or whatever that's called? I don't
Is it
remember.
Alki? Yeah, Alki
Yeah,
Avenue,
yeah,
yeah.
Alki Ave, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
that
was
house
there for a
was
long
sick.
time. Yeah. Yeah. We miss that house. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody seems to like to talk about it all the time because it brings it up all the time. I'm like, yeah, we love that house. It was the craziest house. Yeah, it felt like a real world house or something.
It
was
did.
like, it had like bridges through the middle and the roof with the hot tub and like all crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
I feel like if you would have gotten a producer from MTV just to like witness it for a weekend, just because you had, I won't name drop your roommates, but you had some really cool roommates and stuff, and it was like, this had a little bit of everything for like a real world kind of feel, and it was sick, man. Like lots of talent.
Yeah, the crew that we had in there. That we were doing building skate ramps in the house. We like built an arcade. Like
you had NBA jams.
We had like
gosh, that was
tons
cool.
of arcades and theaters and like random shit. Yeah, it was fun. And we made a bunch of cool music out of there too.
The second floor was like a studio.
Yeah, we had
that was cool. And then the top,
two separate studio
rooftop,
areas,
you could see. Oh my gosh, you could see all the like you were right on the beach, mountains, sunset,
it was awesome.
hot tub, just
huge. It was insane, dude. Yeah, we lucked out. We had that
cool.
house for 6-7 years. No, probably 6 years total. I was probably there for 4 or 5 out of those. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you put out any projects out of that space, or was it mostly for demo work?
Yeah. Me and Parker did. We wrote that song on the Queensryche album, Bulletproof.
Oh, sick. Yeah.
Hell
yeah.
Yeah. At that house. Yeah. Me and him and his buddy Brent. Yep.
Dude, that
Brent
was
Pemberton, who actually Brett, you'd get along with Brett really well. I should link you up. He's a producer. And he just travels and writes music but he's from Port Townsend, which is where Parker's from.
Yeah.
So local guy from Port Townsend. Yeah. But he does like pop artists now, like up and coming pop.
Oh, cool.
Teen artists. Yeah.
And Parker also used to work out at the gym I worked at. So like
anytime
fitness.
Yeah, anytime fitness, dude. Yeah.
So we were workout buddies too. So he was always cool because he came in like all black beanie, like he was just like just getting it on the squat rack, dude. Like,
Parker definitely had some interesting like. Yeah, he would go there, you know, because it was 24-hour, right? He would just go there anytime.
He would come off tour and So that was a cool. I put out a little project, The Last Gemini, out of we called it Mateys. I don't know if you ever. Do you remember my little apartment off of Stevens?
I'd been there. I don't think I
remember the Celtic Swell. It was like on that alleyway. I was in. Yeah. So I had like a little like setup in my room with like a Focusrite Sapphire or something like that. And but yeah, I moved out of there right before COVID. It was weird. I like moved and then the world shut down.
Yeah, that's when I did too. Yeah, I moved right at COVID.
Oh yeah, you were in.
You were actually in Tacoma. I was on Alki and then moved, which me and Kendall talk about all the time. My girlfriend, we talk about it like because we feel like we kind of just got lucky and pulled it off so great because I spent all this time on Alki. I loved Alki. I've always loved Alki, and then COVID happened. The bridge shut down, or maybe it was the other way around. I can't remember. The bridge shut down and then COVID. I can't remember. But it all happened around the same time, and then we moved, and then like we moved back right as the bridge opened and COVID.
Oh right, because with Seattle Bridge,
it was dude.
If you lived in Seattle, you know. If you weren't in Seattle, you don't maybe remember how awful that was. But
because it would take. So I lived in Tacoma, and it would take me less time to get to my studio in Soto than it would for Jevin to get from his place in West Seattle, like right down the street. Because he'd have to go all the way around.
It took a 12-minute drive and made it 45 minutes. It was insane.
It could take him 45 minutes to an hour to get what is a 7-minute drive. Yeah, like now it's 7 minutes minimum for me.
Yeah, it's so good. I'm gonna go back to maybe some live show stories. I was just remembering. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is episode 3. I'm trying to figure out what the show's going to be. So, we're doing a different style here with a guest today. I have a whiteboard with some points, and I was trying to see, and I was like, oh, yeah, dude, I forgot you played Burning Man. We haven't talked about that. You were playing this year. And if you were
shout out Black Rock City Piano Lounge,
yeah. But y'all got a little rain this year.
Oh, the rain was awesome. Yeah. I mean, I always tell my friends with they're like, oh, you went to Burning Man, it must have been horrible. It's like it's always every year you come back and you're like it was the best year. It's
one of those first-hand source. So like,
it's one of those things. Like at least for me, I obviously saw some people that like. I saw some people that legitimately were terrified, right? Like. And that was sad. It was sad to see like
Chris Rock, right?
Yeah, no,
I'm just kidding.
No, he walked out fine.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
And there was people that just like, I heard stories from like, from our camp, like some of our camp left, some of our camp had to leave, but the only way you could leave was to like walk out, right? So you had to like walk out 2 miles, which is like, you got to just walk out, then you got to like hitchhike or figure out a way, you're out the middle of nowhere. So you have to figure all that out. And my buddy went out with like a group of some people, and he said that some people like turned. You know what I mean? Like
right. Like you have this story about the
so like my buddy,
truck.
my buddy Matt goes out with a couple, and they go out, and they get out there, and like they're all like, we're all together, right? And then they get there,
band together,
band together, we're all together, right? Yeah. They get out there, and a truck stops, but like didn't have room for all of them, and they were just like, we're going, and then like it turned into this big awkward thing where they forced this guy to take them, and they were ducking down in the back,
right?
And the guy's like, sorry, like with everything going on right now too, I'm not trying to like get pulled over, like, right? He had a great point. He's like, I'm not like, and they like forced him to do it. Dang. Get to this other little town, I think it's called Gerlach, it's like right outside, and then they abandoned my other buddy and left their trash there. They had to pay like $60 to like get rid of a trash bag. Yeah. Like, and the one thing I took out of it was like, man, like what would it take for me in the real world too to like turn, like
to break
like
a little bit?
Like turn on my friends and be like no, like I have to do like what? Like what are you talking about? Like
there is a breaking point. We all have it. Right.
Yeah,
but you were like, that was a weird breaking point for you.
But
bro.
you're also at Burning Man. Like I stuck it through. Like I stayed there. I was there like 10, 11 days. So I was like one of the last crews to leave. And we had a blast.
Yeah.
Like through the
your
like
stories look
yeah,
fun.
through the blast. Like we had a blast. It was just like as long as you could treat it like being a little kid and like being like there's a mud puddle.
Right.
Like
what is
be
this,
like be
what is
that.
this really? Yeah.
Like, okay, sure, it kind of sucked. Like the bathroom situation gets a little weird, right? And like things feel cars couldn't drive, so the outhouses couldn't get emptied. That was a weird thing.
Okay. Fair.
Where it's like, okay,
Fair.
guys, this is kind of like, it's fucking
fair.
shit.
That's gross.
It's gross. It's shitty. And like we all have, people have other toilets and other things, but those fill up, and then like you have to empty those somewhere.
Yeah.
And the truck, like when there was mud, you couldn't drive for it was 3 days of like no, like don't drive.
Right. Yeah. It was like
if you take your car, it's gonna get stuck, and you're creating more issues for
and
everybody.
People
else.
tried.
There was there were so many cars, and that was the sad thing. We would go walk. There was people that would take their lawn chairs to like the edge of the city, and just like sit out there and watch people like just fail. And they would like throw mud at him and be like, what are you do? Like, cause it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And they're making it worse for everybody else because they were making the ground all worse than it was. Like if you just let it set and dry, then it'd be like if the road just like got wet and then like turned into some other thing and then dried, instead of just like if you don't touch it, it doesn't change at all,
Right.
So
but
it was fun.
If you look at the whole percentage, because perceptually from the outside, it seemed like that was 90% of people were doing that. And I like
we're driving and leaving. Yeah,
we're just being like crazy and like acting out of control. But like from your stories, it seemed like a small.
It had to have been maybe 10. And that would be a lot. I'd say 5% of people maybe tried to drive when they weren't supposed to. Like,
right.
When
so
you
not
saw
as much
car,
as
when you saw a car, it'd be like, what is that person doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but I remember so vividly this one couple that just made me super sad. It was like they had to have been in their 70s. I don't know, maybe 80s. And it's like, and they're driving this like RV, and they're not. I mean, they're just like, and you can see the like, just like. It's the end of the world in their eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was sad because it's like,
and
you're in a place where it's like, you literally can just, any person you see, walk up to them, say you need something, and you'll get
and that's
you'll
what
get
I
it.
feel like there was so much comfort
you'll get
by
it.
the people there.
Yeah. Like you could literally, if any person you see, which there's thousands of people everywhere, any person you see, just say, hey, if you need something, it's good. You're gonna get it. It's gonna be fine.
Cool. I need to come out next
There's
time
no
you go.
currency, right? So you never pay for anything the whole time you're there anyway. So everything is just people giving.
Yeah.
Everything,
I want to go
which
with
is
your
really
crew.
Cool.
You have to tell me when that meeting comes up to like start getting ready for that. But I'd be down to go.
Our camp, we're started. We're already in the like.
I met your buddy actually through we went to a chocolate event this year from someone.
Oh yeah.
That you met. Yeah.
I still have some of that chocolate.
What was the name of that? the
Oh my gosh.
the chocolate company.
His
I can't remember.
company. Oh my gosh, I don't remember.
I not remember
either.
right now, but I'll put a link in the thing. Like we'll figure it out later. But yeah, that was super fun. That chocolate event in was it Bellevue?
It was in Bellevue.
Yeah, that was cool.
Met him at Burning Man. Yeah, you meet just a lot of interesting, creative people there. And yeah, our camp has a bunch of really talented, people. We run a piano bar, so it's just pianos in a piano bar 24/7. Like, and we have an art car that we take out called the Melton John. Shout out Melton John.
Oh man, Melton John.
The Melton John. And yeah, it's just fun, dude. It's just you're just sharing your art and your talent with people, and that's what everybody there's doing. I mean, you ride somewhere and you get this, pizza, and you're like, that's a great and then you ride somewhere like there's a bowling alley and then a roller skating rink.
Oh
and
yeah.
There's just like
that's crazy.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend like went into some random. It was like enter, and there's like, okay, we just entered this thing, and we were inside like a movie theater. And they were playing that movie, The Mice of Nim or Rats of Nim or what? I can't remember what it's called.
I have zero.
I think it's called like The Rats of Nim, but it's just weird. And it's just like we walk in this thing and we're just like in our own private movie theater. We laid there for like an hour. We left. It's
like a mobile city. It's just like it just kind of like comes out of nowhere. And
yeah,
you're like,
it just pops
what
up,
the heck? Humans are kind of incredible when they want to be like, we're all on the same page.
Oh, yeah. It's like, super fun.
Dang,
dude.
we just built this city out in the middle of the desert.
I definitely think that it's worth going there for anybody.
Yeah.
If you get the opportunity.
I'm trying.
I never would have gone. I mean, I could have never went. I could have just never went and not even really thought about it.
Yeah.
But after I just had the opportunity and it just kind of came out of nowhere. Shout out Matt, our camp leader, who runs the car shop Derby.
Oh, cool.
It's called The Shop. It's in Soto, Derby. It's a car club across the street. And yeah, he just told me, he's like, yeah, I love pianos. I run a piano bar and have an art car called the Melton John. And I was like, this guy's full of shit. I was
turns
like,
out,
this sound, yeah. And I was like, this guy, like, you're just saying this to me because I have pianos and like,
right.
I play piano. And turns out out of every, and there's no other piano bar even at Burning Man. Like we are like there's
piano.
like there's one other like piano bar art car that's really sick. But yeah, we're like it's the only one. So like of anywhere I could have been in the world, I just met the one guy that runs
that
the
is
piano.
crazy.
It's super, super wild.
Music's cool like that, though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
And a lot of great Seattle artists or people in our camp and from all over the world too. Yeah.
Well, and I grew up in Reno, which you all go
yeah.
through Reno. So for me, Burning Man was always like, I saw burners coming through every year, and I always just assumed I would just like kind of, lasso myself onto one of their bicycles one year, and it just never happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been meaning to go for ever and just never.
Yeah,
have,
you would love it, dude. It'd be such a good place for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I think that might be a good way to end the pod. I think we'll have you on here again. Again, we're just trying to test this out. If you liked what you heard, or if you have suggestions, obviously you can like, comment, subscribe below. Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, dude.
Zach, it's Zechariah Vallete if you want to find him on official stuff. But his
Zechariah Vallete, yeah, they just call me Zach.
Yeah.
It's just
and yeah, we'll catch you next time. And we're gonna get a new guest. I think we have Key and Sean from Rush Hour. They have a little shop up there on. I don't know if you checked that out. Yeah, and they got some sick shoes. So we're gonna have them on the pod soon. So stay tuned.
Nice.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Sick.
Sick.